9 years after a woman's death was called a suicide, her husband is charged for homicide. Today, the Shawano County Sheriff's Office says that case was never forgotten. James Radford told authorities that his wife, Sabrina Radford, shot herself when they questioned James back in 2016. He was arrested, though, last month. The criminal complaint talks about evidence being inconsistent with Radford's statements to police about his wife's deaths. Authorities launched that investigation, saying they dedicated significant time and effort to the case, but did not explain exactly why it took 9 years to come to this arrest. James Radford charged with first-degree reckless homicide. He's being held on an $800,000 bond. He's scheduled to appear in court next month and faces a maximum of 65 years in prison if convicted. Meantime, Sabrina Radford's family issued a statement to Action 2 News saying, quote, "After 9 years, law enforcement has made an arrest connected to the case involving Sabrina. We are grateful for the continued efforts of the investigators who have remained committed to uncovering the truth and seeking justice. We ask that you respect the privacy of Sabrina's family as they process this significant development. We will allow the criminal justice system to proceed with its work. Out of respect for the legal process and those involved, we will not be making any additional comments at this time." End quote.